necessarily those of this station, its owners, staff, or management. The following program is sponsored by Adrian
phone number?
Graphics.
Yeah.
Do you have the phone number and the address?
This is the
where they wanna
Project
do the
Grow
event?
radio show.
No, but you can say it if you want.
Millennials' perspective
Okay,
and
cool.
advice
Yeah.
on faith, marketing,
We're
leadership,
gonna
and
start our
technology.
interview after the first
In a
break.
world
So when
that's
we go to
quickly
break and we come back,
advancing,
I'll
we bring
introduce you.
exciting
I'll talk
interviews
about
from
how to
today's
do the
top
show.
entrepreneurs and leaders, fueling your growth in life and business. And now your host and fellow believer in business, Adrian Boyce.
Oh yeah! Hey everybody, welcome back. You are listening to the Project Grow radio show. I'm your host Adrian Boycell, and again we are here live for episode 18. So it's starting to get up there in the numbers, and I'm loving it. We're not backing down. We're only pushing harder, and today's going to be another exciting show. We have made some amazing progress with some sponsors, and I truly believe that a lot of that has just come from my faith and pushing forward with Salem and following the Word of God. So I talk a lot about that on the show, and as you know, that's the foundation of the Project Grow radio show. But I have some amazing guests here today that are sponsors of the show now, and they're going to be sharing their knowledge and background in cryptocurrency. These guys are, the guy that I have here, that's a group of guys that are running this business, and they're just an amazing group. And the guy that I have here is Sean Milner from Bitcoin City. He's a Bitcoin expert, and we're going to be chatting with him today about Bitcoin. So we've talked a lot about Bitcoin in the past. I think I've done at least 2 other episodes on it, and I've grazed on it in other subjects with security, and we're going to touch on that later in the show. But just have a really exciting show planned with the Bitcoin topic. I know it's a really hot thing. A lot of it's been crashing lately, so maybe we'll ask him a little bit about that. And I just have a few questions for him, and then I'm going to let him kind of share what he does and what's unique about what they do. And then we also have a commercial that'll be playing during the show that you'll hear as well. So it's been an amazing week since last week's show. I've had a lot of amazing blessings and just things happen over the last week. One of the things that I wanted to share with you, and I kind of want to start the show with, is every time I do one of these, one of the things I learned was having a direct conversation to you, the listener. And so for me, for my heart to be able to attach and really have that true conversation with someone, I have to have a person in my mind. And so that person to me, I would say out of the 18 shows I've done, the last 12 of them have been with one specific person, and that's my dear friend Wayne Novoa. He's just a mentor of mine. I've known him for many, many years. He's not the biggest, business guy in town. He isn't, some crazy millionaire guy that I follow. But as a human being, I identify with his principles and his morals and his character probably more than anybody else. And he's just a really good-hearted guy. And unfortunately, I've known the guy for over 10 years now. And so I'm always having conversations with him when I'm doing this show. But unfortunately this week, and I think it was yesterday, he lost his mom. And I've heard stories over the years of how amazing she was. She worked for the state of California and in the government. And in 40 years that she worked for the government, she never missed a day of work. So I want to give this episode and this radio show today out to Gertie, Wayne Novoa's mom. And I just want to lift her and all of his family and him up in a quick prayer today, and just knowing that she's in a better place. She's with the greatest father, the greatest person that ever lived, and with Jesus. And so I just want to say a quick prayer and give my love and condolences to Wayne and Tammy and Aaron and the whole family. So Lord, I just thank you for Wayne. I thank you for the friendship that I've had with him over all the years, and I just ask that you lift him and his family up right now in this difficult time of losing a family member. She lived a great, long life, but death is never an easy thing, and none of us escape this life alive. So, Lord, I just ask that you bless him and his family, and I just ask for some sort of a sign to the family that she is with you, God. I just ask that you give them some sort of clarity and some sort of vision. Just give them some hope that she's in such a great place right now and happy, and isn't just in her eternity. So we love you, we thank you, and it's in your name that we pray. So shout out to Wayne Novoa. I hope you're listening, and if not, I'll send you this recording and you can check it out later. But I love you, and I really appreciate the friendship and a relationship that we've been able to build over the years on the business level and on the personal level. You've done so much for me and my son, so this is the very least that I can do. So my second topic I wanted to share in this opening segment is just this week in general, and in the business sense. This is a business show, so I like to focus it on the business topics, but I have been having just such an incredible business week. I mean, the sales momentum that we've built in the last, I would say, 2 weeks, but this last week has been 3 times probably more than I've had over the last 3 months. And A lot of that goes back to, I think, just being faithful to what the Lord's saying and following His word and letting Him kind of lead me. And that's what I've been doing. And doors have just been opening up. So, getting sponsors for the show, obviously for a radio show that's new, is not an easy thing. And I've made a lot of progress in other areas, like getting the show on Spotify and doing that type of stuff. But finding sponsors has been a little bit more challenging, even more challenging than finding guests. But as of the last week, we've brought on about 4 or 5 new sponsors to the show. You'll hear their commercials today on the show. An amazing company that does this. It's called reusableheat.com. They have an amazing heat pack, and just the effect of what this does for people is truly profound. And so we're going to be working together. We have Bitcoin City, who's doing classes and education on the cryptocurrency space. We have another one that you'll hear their commercial as well. But the Divine Solar, they're going to be, I'm sure, hopping on board with us. And then I have a new business minute for you guys. But we have a couple more that Goobridge Electric. I just don't want to announce too many things quite yet until I have it ready. But we have a lot of sponsors coming on board, and it's just really exciting. So for me, I've just been really focused on building these new relationships in specific verticals. So I've been focusing on everybody else's business so much as far as helping them with their strategies, and I've really been neglecting my own business and not running AdWords, not building landing pages, not updating my website. And so for the last couple of weeks, I've been taking my team that's actually been growing. I got a couple new members, Joseph and Isabel. So we got some really cool people on the team now that are just incredibly talented, and they're helping me really work in the business to help automate our processes and create a better user experience as far as our welcome kit for new clients that come on board. So we're really just improving our processes as time goes on and starting to make that investment within the company and not just with our clients. So that's something that I feel like is really exciting and is building a lot of momentum for us. The landing pages that we've put up are going to be rolling on Google AdWords for branding, so we'll have deals and things like that, and websites. So we're rocking a lot of websites. We got a deal with Big Al. He's a good friend of mine. He's on another station. He's been a local icon here in Sacramento, and I call him the Sacramento ambassador. We have a deal with another radio show that we're going to be building and doing, and just a lot of really cool partnerships and things happening. So I'm just really excited for all the growth that's come just from my obedience. And so to lead into that, the big topic that I wanted to kind of talk about right now is the story of this gal Dawn that I met last night at Walmart. So I was going to Walmart. I've had some crazy changes and blessings happening in my life recently, and funds are tight because I'm in the middle of moving and I'm trying to buy a house and I'm engaged. I got to pay for a wedding. There's just so much stuff going on, so money's tight. And when people ask me for money, I don't typically just, oh yeah, sure, here you go. But I met this lady as I was getting out of my car. I locked my car and I walked by her, and I could hear her as I got about 10 steps ahead. Hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, turn around, I'm like, I'm good, how about you? And she's like, I'm okay. And I mean, I said, uh-oh, okay, something's going on there. I'm like, are you in pain? And she's like, no, I'm not in pain. But I'm like, well, what's wrong? Is it something else? She's like, yeah, I have an addiction. I'm like, oh. I'm like, we all got those in one way or another. We're all working on our hurts, habits, and hang-ups. And she said, yeah, mine's gambling. And I said, well, that's an easy one. I said, that's one that God can break off, and He can break that chain. If you want to let that go tonight, there's a reason why He put you and I right here in this parking lot. And by this time we were already at the front doors. I'm like, I can do it right here at the front doors if you want. And it was just my obedience to just say yes. And so I was really excited to get to pray for her. I prayed over her and just broke that off and said, hey, look, if you want to come to Celebrate Recovery, which is a great program, it's a 12-step, Christ-centered program. We do it every week at the Rock, the old Rock campus. It's the Bonita campus, and we do that every single week. And I would love to have you there. And it's somewhere where you can privately share your hurts, habits, and hang-ups. And it doesn't have to be about drugs. It can be about all kinds of stuff that you just get stuff off your chest, and it's anonymous and discreet. And so I offered her to do that, and she's like, oh, where's that at? So I kind of gave her the address, and then chatted with her as we were walking into the store and gave her a hug. And then I started walking around. I got my Nutter Butters that my lady and I are so crazy about, and went to the checkout. And as I was walking out the doors, it was crazy, I heard like a loud, audible voice, you need to go back in there and give her the money you have in your wallet. And I'm like, I don't even know how much money I have in my wallet. I think it's only like $20. I'm like, really? She just said she has a gambling problem. And I just kind of just, as a human being, it's easy to just let all the other thoughts and the world kind of overpower that. So I actually just went back in. I kind of looked around for a minute, didn't see her, and I gave up really quickly, and I went back in my car, drove out of the parking lot. I'm like, man, I need to call my fiance, see what she thinks about it. And I asked her, and she gave me the encouragement, and like as always, and just like, you know what's right to do. So I turned around, drove back into the parking lot, and next thing you know, I walked down the front aisle, past all the registers, and there she is standing there with a pillow and some just like life necessities. Nothing that was like candy or stuff that she didn't need. It was like life necessities. And I walked up to her and I said, hey, this is really hard for me, but I just wanted to give this to you. Lord told me he wants you to have this money. He hasn't forgotten about you. He's going to meet you wherever you want, and just don't give up on him. And she's like, I've forgotten about him, and I'm just not worthy. I'm like, you are worthy. This is why he brought me into your life right now in this very moment, because he wants to reach out to you and he cares about you. And it was just a really, really powerful thing to see. And so she just started crying right there. And she's like, it's funny, I was just about to try and I just tried to pay for this stuff, and my card was declined. I only have a little bit of money, and I live in my truck. And I was just like, I got choked up at that point. I'm like, holy moly. I mean, she was trying to buy a pillow. All she wanted to do was sleep a little bit more comfortably. So lady was living in her car, and it was a really deep thing. So that $20 meant a lot more to her than it did to me. Even when I'm tight on money, it was just way more important. So I believe that obedience is what has created, and that faith and just saying yes, even though it's hard sometimes, just saying yes is what's created all of the success and all the things that I'm so proud of now in my life. My fiance, my son, my work, my clients, all of these things are a direct effect of me just saying yes. So it's just a really, really powerful story that I thought I would share with you guys. So we're going to be sharing some stuff towards the end of the show. I read up a little bit on this crypto breach, but we're going to go to break, and when we get back, we'll talk to you then. Sean, say hi.
Hi, I'm Adrian Boycell with Adrian Graphics. Believe it or not, the internet is almost as complicated as a human body. The good thing is, I know the web like your doctor knows you. And just like your doctor, I genuinely care about you and your business. For it to succeed in 2018, you must know how to harness the internet.
Okay,
I've been working on the internet since its first inception.
That first 10 minutes is always the hardest for me.
Whether
Once I
it's
get past
an
the
app,
first 10
a
minutes,
website,
then it's
a landing page,
conversational.
or even an
Yeah.
advertising campaign, I can help you achieve the results that you truly need. At the end of the day, it's all about return on investment. And the internet is such a crowded place. In order for you to stand out, you need to have a unique and special identity. I can not only help you create your special identity, but enhance it.
Oh yeah,
And I will also
trying to
help you
read these at
harness
the
the
same
power of
time.
the internet.
What's up,
to make
guys?
you money. All you got to do is pick up the phone and dial me at 877-801-1991. That's 877-801-1991. Or visit our website at adriangraphics.com.
Do you need push-button heat with no batteries,
Here we
no
go.
microwave, and no cords? Introducing Hot Shots,
Hot
a
Shots.
must-have heat source for any cold weather activity, aches and pains, and more. Hot Shots reusable heat packs come in many sizes and provide hours of soothing heat. Yes, reusable, with a lifetime warranty. Don't be left out in the cold. Call 916-214-6943 or visit reusableheat.com. Hot Shots, instant portable reusable heat anytime, anywhere. That's reusableheat.com.
Hello, I'm Adrian Boycell, and this is your Business Minute. School and education are two different things, and they do not always overlap. Whether you're working for yourself, going to college, or working for someone else, it's really important that you continue to educate yourself. When you educate yourself, you're investing in yourself, and that investment will increase curiosity for the world that you live in. My curious nature has been one of the most significant traits that got me to where I am today. I act like a
Hey, Sandy.
sponge, and I want to suck up as much information as I can to keep those gold nuggets and get the info to apply to my life and my business. So here are 3 tips that will help you educate yourself. Number 1, Google everything. Your problems, your dreams, your goals. Don't ask questions before you Google it. You'll either find the answer or you'll come up with a better question. Number 2, always be reading. From audiobooks to written books, you must immerse yourself in the knowledge of the innovators and thinkers before you. Find what interests you and stay consistent with it. And number 3, find a mentor. I've said this before. They will give you the accountability and knowledge that only real experience can give you. Someone that has made the mistakes and has overcome them. You cannot do it alone. And you shouldn't want to. I'm Adrian Boycell with the Project Grow radio show. This has been your Business Minute, and as always, keep looking up.
Handling payroll, workers' comp, and HR yourself is a big risk. If done incorrectly, it can cost you thousands of dollars and agonizing audits. You need a reliable company that looks out for you in all of these areas, and there is no better company than Premier Personnel. Family-owned and operated, Jennifer and Scott will provide the highest quality service at a cost you can afford. Call Premier Personnel at 888-915-0806 or visit them online at ppfsb.com.
Hey, are you building real wealth with Bitcoin? The more you know about the technology, the greater chance you have of making real money from Bitcoin. The local experts at Bitcoin City teach you the do's and don'ts of cryptocurrency and give you a deep understanding on how the technology works. In just 2 sessions, you'll get the knowledge
That's the
you need.
energy we need.
And as Ben Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Enroll in the first ever crypto education class at btcoincity.com. That's btcoincity.com.
Money 1055.
Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody. We're back, and you're listening to the Project Grow radio show. Thank you for tuning in with us. We are live here in studio, and just excited to be back with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. This may be your first time listening, or you may be a loyal listener. So either way, I thank you for tuning in. So we're going to get back to what we were talking about. Today we're talking about cryptocurrency. Talked a little bit about just saying yes to what God's calling you to do in your life, and just all the rewards and benefits that come from that. And it's not even about rewards and benefits. Those are just a byproduct. It's just like when you work hard and you love what you do, you make money. And the money isn't the goal. It's working hard and loving what you do, and all the rest will come. And so it's the same thing with faith. I've just continued to grow in faith and continue to just say yes even when it's uncomfortable, and that's a big part of who I am now. So I want to get into our interview. I think it's going to be a really exciting interview. I have a feeling we're going to be chatty Cathy's here and be talking about crypto, because I'm going to nerd out on it like I always do. But I have Sean Milner here from Bitcoin City. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Always down to nerd out about cryptos.
Seriously. It's a lot of fun, and there's so much buzz going on around it, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions with it. And I heard something yesterday, and I think this is a good way to start it off, that a lot of people are using cryptocurrency to try and use it as an investment strategy for investors, when in reality, to bring the stability to it, it's more of a, what did they call that? Chris called it yesterday, an exchange, be able to, and I wrote it in my notes. In fact, I probably have it here in my notes. It was a really powerful statement that I had never thought about Bitcoin like this. Where was it here? Let me see. I got it on my notes. I'll pull it up.
You're absolutely right, though. A lot of people are using it as an investment, which is definitely a smart move. One of the funniest memes, there's tons of memes around this subject. It's a picture of a doctor with a kid on the table saying, "This is going to hurt." I think it says, "What your parents didn't invest in Bitcoin."
Oh, that's hilarious! I actually saw that one just recently. So this is what he said, and I wrote this down word for word. It's designed to move wealth. It's not designed for the investors. It's designed to move wealth, to use it to buy goods and services.
Yes, absolutely. There's a unlike an investment, unlike a stock, there's a huge utility behind it. It's a need. It's new technology, not just an investment stock. There's a $1 trillion market out there, $1 trillion global need, well beyond $1 trillion actually.
Yeah.
Global need for this type of tender. And cryptocurrencies as a currency is built on the blockchain. It's built with blockchain technology. And so the currency aspect is literally the tip of the iceberg. Not that alone is changing our financial structure, our world today. Blockchain technology is what's behind it, and currencies, using it for currency utilization is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people haven't quite been familiar or educated with that difference.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because there's a lot of people, it's hit the mass market now where a lot of people know about it and they've heard about it, and people who are not tech savvy have even brought it up to me, and I'm like, how does this whole thing work? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go into this whole story over and over again. It's exhausting for me, because I talk about it so often, and so many people are curious about it now because of how massive it's spread. Why do you think that there's such a buzz revolving cryptocurrency compared to some of the other things?
Well, you're starting to see like several millionaires that bought.
It's true.
If you bought $100 worth of Bitcoin in 2010 when it was 18 cents, when it was 18 cents, if I had a time machine, right?
Right.
So when it was 18 cents in 2010, if you spent $100, you'd have $47 million today off that $100. And so there's several crypto millionaires everywhere. You're going to see a lot of interesting couples.
Well, I actually did some research on the topic when I was writing your guys' script for the commercial.
Yeah.
And one of the industry statistics that I read, and I don't remember the site, it was, BitInfo charts, was that there are 23,943 addresses holding at least $1 million worth of Bitcoins.
Yeah,
And
for
that's-
real. It's
And they said that that's not necessarily because you can have multiple addresses for one person. So that doesn't mean that there's 23,000 millionaires that came from it, but they're estimating anywhere between 20,000 and 200,000 millionaires came off of cryptocurrency.
absolutely. It's almost like you're seeing an emergence of a wealth distribution, a new wealth distribution in a sense. And this is literally just the tip of the iceberg. And I think you're starting to see it more on TV, and people, some people you talk to haven't even heard of it. It's hard for me to imagine, because nerd out with it, but people haven't heard about it, and they should hear about it. So
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
If you know about Bitcoin and you have any small amount of education with it, it's your own fault if you don't make
Exactly.
$500,000 this year.
Seriously.
It's yeah. So
I mean, it's not like a free lottery ticket. That's the one thing I definitely have learned about it. You're not just gonna all of a sudden make $1 million super easy, because I mean you've already, especially if you're jumping in now, you've already kind of missed a lot of that early side. But there is a huge wealth opportunity from Bitcoin.
there is, and you know what? A lot of people think it is too late in a lot of ways, but this is just the beginning. So
Sure.
a lot of people think that it's too late because they see one opportunity move away, and that's what 18-cent Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Maybe that won't happen again.
Yeah.
If it does, I'm gonna buy it all day long.
Exactly. Right.
But
Seriously.
there are so many opportunities, and it's just like the emergence of any new technology. You're going to see, if you compare this to a dot-com, people call it a dot-com bubble. We are, from a historical chart, 15 years from anywhere close to scratching the surface of a bubble. People
Wow.
think there's a bubble
That's interesting.
now,
Yeah.
but we're not even close. And
Huh.
so, yeah.
That's a pretty
I
powerful
can't,
thing.
I can't wait to see when the actual bubble is.
It's still so early in the game that
Yeah.
you're saying, and yeah, I believe that too. I mean, especially with how many cryptocurrencies there are now. I mean, we were talking about that the other day. Was there like 1,500, something like that? I think I wrote that down.
Several, and it's just multiplying because, there's a lot of, and so that's another thing, and this is one thing that's, I believe it's hurting the industry right now a little bit, is the fact that we're getting a lot of coins out there for investment purposes that have no utility behind it. So let me just remind everyone, so you buy a stock, it's a business, right? And then there's certain penny stocks, there's some stocks that are just, dirt cheap, but are also just complete crap as well. That happens in the crypto market too. And so 90% of these coins, you got to do your own research. That's why we're here to educate people, because you need to have a strong utility case for that coin. And so there's definitely a few coins that we could talk about that have a strong use case.
And Ripple is connected to the banking system, right? Is that their utility that you're talking about?
It is. Well, so with Ripple, they're just trying to take the system that's in place and make it more secure by adding cryptocurrency to it. Because right now, as you know, Wells Fargo has been hacked.
Yeah.
What was the other bank? Chase? It was Chase recently?
Yeah, Chase, yes.
Chase was recently hacked, and that's the problem of having a centralized banking system. And so that's what cryptocurrencies are all about, and that is the decentralized network. And so this might sound foreign right now to some of you guys, but we'll absolutely break it down. And so that's what our goal is at Bitcoin City, is to break this down so that you can be educated approaching the cryptocurrency market, so you know how to participate. And so that's what the crypto space is missing. There's nobody to call. There's you can Google stuff. I mean, if you trust the internet.
Yeah, that can be dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. So we're here to provide that and help push humanity forward.
Exactly. That's huge. I mean, I'm definitely a big fan of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I own a bunch of different cryptocurrencies. XRB is one that I bought into, and that one's been struggling. And recently, a lot of this stuff has been tanking. What is it that you're seeing right now that is making it kind of do this dip and then kind of jump back up in this current time?
There are so many factors. A lot of it too is the volatility. It's just such a new technology, so it is definitely a volatile market, and there's ways to offset those risks. So you don't just want to just hop all in on a coin, especially even if you have some good charting involved with it. It's so volatile, and there's so many new factors with it, and it's such a young market that even media will have tremendous impact on it. So a lot of times you'll see marketing campaigns that completely shoot up the price of a coin, like Ripple is one of them. And you're just seeing a lot of things there's a lot of unregulated factors in behind the scenes with some of these, and so it's absolutely important to go in with a sound education.
Sweet. Well, we're going to go to break, but when we get back, we'll continue talking about crypto. A few people watching. Scott.
From the Big Mountain Heating, Air, and Solar Traffic Center, Charlie Simons.
We have an accident. It's right there at Rockland Road, over on the shoulder 80 westbound. It's just going to get slower from there, though. When you get past 65, it's stop and go, and it's because of an accident. And it's got 2 lanes blocked at Antelope Road. Traffic is very slow going. And if you see an opportunity to take an alternate side route, do it, because it's going to get you trapped in there. You're not going to be able to do much of anything once you get past 65. That's 80 westbound, 2 lanes blocked at Antelope Road. 50 westbound also starting at Bradshaw, but a stop and go all the way to I-5. 99 heading southbound, stop and go as well. From the 50 connector until you get past Sheldon.
If you guys have any crypto questions that are watching and you want to ask, I'm sure Sean would be happy to answer, so drop them here in the comments.
Great service. It's the Wawanesa way. For a free quote, call 877-WAWANESA or visit wawanesa.com. Hi, I'm attorney Eric Meyer of Meyer Law, the host of Money 105.5's new show, The Welcome Family Show. Every Thursday at 4 p.m., we'll talk about how to build and protect your wealthy family. In this complicated world we live in, be confident you have taken the steps to ensure everything you've worked hard for and what matters most, your family, are protected. Join the conversation every Thursday afternoon.
Talking well-paced,
straight talk and to the point.
Okay.
This is personal.
Super conversational,
This is
super
family.
easy to follow.
This is the Welcome Family
Does
Show.
it sound interesting?
Yeah,
Okay.
Anybody that's into
The
tech,
more you know about the technology,
Anybody
the
that's
greater
into tech
chance
is
you
gonna
have
love
of
it.
making real money from Bitcoin. The local experts at Bitcoin City teach you the do's and don'ts of cryptocurrency and give you a deep understanding on how the technology
I've
works.
had to
In
learn how
just
to
2
write
sessions,
scripting
you'll
over
get
the
the knowledge
years
you need.
of just
And
keeping
as
it
Ben
so
Franklin
simple, like
said,
even if you talk to
investment in
do's
knowledge
and don'ts
pays
and
the
like just
best
simple
interest.
terminology
Enroll in
versus
Crypto
like what to watch out
Education
for,
class
and like,
at
you know, using other terminology, so it's been
That's
fun.
btcoincity.com.
Commerce,
Handling payroll, workers'
commerce
comp,
for
and
business, I
HR
thought was
yourself
a really
is a big
intriguing
risk. If
topic.
done
Maybe we can
incorrectly,
save
it can
like an
cost you
episode like in the
thousands of
future
dollars at
Absolutely.
agonizing
for that,
You need
just
a
like
reliable
just business
company
to
that will
business,
help
like
you
help
in all
taking
of these
currency for
areas.
building,
There's
you
no
know,
better company
website or
than
doing
your
remodeling, like
Family
how
owned and
businesses can
operated, Jennifer
take on
and
more
staff will
clients
provide the
and
highest
expose
quality
themselves to
service
more
at a
businesses
cost
and more
you can
opportunities
afford.
by
Call
accepting Bitcoin
Communicus
as
now
a
at
currency.
Absolutely.
888-995-0806
Be huge.
All those millionaires
or
that
visit
have
them online
Bitcoin,
at
Where are they going to spend their money?
ppsp.com.
where are they going to spend
Money
it?
105.5.
That's what I want to know.
Oh yeah, we are back. Thank you for listening to the Project Grow radio show. We're here with Sean Milner of Bitcoin City, and we're just chatting about cryptocurrency. So if you're in cryptocurrency or you've been considering cryptocurrency, I would encourage you to go check out btcoincity.com. These guys are amazing. They're a team of just really talented individuals who are really passionate about crypto and what it can do for you. There's just so many uses for it, from your daily life to business stuff like we were just talking about during the break, and just knowing how to use it and how to not use it. So we're going to continue where we left off, and we were chatting a little bit about how the banking system is centralized and how some of these cryptocurrencies are kind of connected to that, but cryptocurrency in general is a decentralized network. So what does that kind of mean in the simplest form?
In the simplest form, and that's it. I'll keep it as simple as possible, because I know, and bear with me, crypto nerds out there, because I know if you start to talk about it in too much detail, people become either astronomers or geologists. You know, they're either looking up or looking down. And so I want to give you the definitely what decentralization means, and let's just first describe what centralization is, so that you can understand the difference between that. So banking right now, all of your transactions and the ledgers that are kept whenever you make a purchase with your credit card are in one central location. So they're owned by, say, Wells Fargo, owned by, say, Chase Bank. Bitcoin is decentralized, and it's also open. It's an open public ledger. So all of the scrupulous activities that can happen behind the scenes when only one person is watching it. Imagine that, right? Imagine that there could ever be any type of corruption with that one person controlling all of your transactions, right?
Exactly.
So, and don't even get me started on fractional reserve banking, right? So decentralization, what that is everyone who has what's called you've heard this term, a mining rig, right? You've heard of Bitcoin mining. What that really is just verifying transactions on this decentralized network. So instead of having one computer handling all these, one point of attack for the ledger that's handling all of these transactions, you have millions of computers that are verifying the transactions simultaneously on a public open ledger. So what happens here is it eliminates the corruption within the system. Of course, there's going to be scams on one side or the other end of this. Like if you give somebody money, you're giving them money, right? But as a technology, blockchain and Bitcoin, it's immutable on the decentralized network.
It's much more secure.
It's much more. Thank you. I promise not to get too technical, but it just happens. I'm sorry.
And when I first started hearing about it, I had one of my developers that told me about it. I've talked about it on the show, and I mean he nerded out on it like crazy, and then I started nerding out on it. But the way he described it, it was so technical at first. I'm like, that gave me a headache. I'm like, decentralized and blockchain and ledgers and all this stuff, and I'm like, holy moly! So now that I've been around it for 2 years, I've been buying it and selling it and doing all that stuff. I'm so much more familiar with it. I've read dozens of articles. I've talked about it on the show. I have other colleagues and business friends that are using it and investing in it and helping other people like grow their businesses. Like they're using their cryptocurrency to basically help their clients grow their businesses.
Absolutely.
So there's just crazy uses for it. A lot of different opportunities for it. So I think it's a powerful thing. And decentralizing money it takes it out of the hands of the government. Maybe that's why I saw an article today about the SEC starting to try and consider cracking down on all these blockchain and cryptos.
Well, yeah, there's some of that, and so it's because there's with any new emerging technology, it's hard to know how to regulate those, and there's always going to be people and trying to take advantage of that knowledge gap, and so that's why it's super important to approach cryptocurrencies with some foundational knowledge, and so. As we were talking, that's one of the things that's kind of hurting the market at the moment is the fact it's just the expected uneducation, the lack of, and so
how uneducated people are.
Yeah, exactly. So it just takes like anything. It's going to take a little bit of time, but and that's exactly what we do at Bitcoin City, is so that we can actually get people up to speed, so they can approach the market, they can approach cryptos and blockchain with just a balanced understanding.
Exactly.
And with that, I feel you just don't want to do it without some type of education. So let us fast forward that 6-month process, that cryptosomnia. Once you learn about this,
you could just
one of the buzzwords, it's cryptosomnia. It's a 24/7 market.
You never sleep and you get notifications from your wallet.
Exactly.
Like, it went up again. Oh, it went down again. Like, you could go crazy with it for sure. I can see how that's really possible. And so you got to know how to use it the right way, and that's what you guys are really experts at doing. Are you one of the instructors? Do you teach as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm always down to help educate people about it. I'm just super passionate about it. I don't know if you can tell that.
No, that definitely comes across. And so is Dave, and Dave hasn't even been around it that long, and I was blown away by him and the kind of person he is and his story of where he came from and the battles he's fought. And
absolutely.
These are the type of people I want to surround myself with and build a team and just an infrastructure with and a future with, is really what it comes down to. So I'm really excited just for that part of it alone. So I did write up 3 questions that I wanted to ask you, and I'm sure you had a little time to figure them out. So the first one I had is, what's your favorite cryptocurrency and why?
So that's a tough question, but I have an answer for you.
Okay.
And so there's 2. One of them is almost out there, and it is the first SEC compliant cryptocurrency.
Whoa.
Created by Overstock.com called T0.
T0. I'm gonna write that down.
T0, yes, and that is if you're looking on the stock side of things in the fiat world, right? You'll notice that Overstock.com, ever since they announced it, has 4 times their stock so far. It's just going to go further. So your grandchildren will thank you.
Yeah, seriously.
You pick up some Overstock.com. What they're planning on doing is going to change the world. So, well, at least our world, because what happens in the stock market today is something called naked shorting. And what that is when other companies will see an emerging company and they will create fraudulent stocks of that type.
I've heard of that.
And then what happens is it puts companies out. It puts good companies out. And Overstock.com has been a victim of that from 10 years ago, and they still have pushed through. They're just such a good company that they're able to push right through that.
Nice.
However, from those experiences, they want to bring blockchain technology into the stock market so that nobody can create these fraudulent stocks, so that it's completely open. Think of all the good businesses out there that could be serving the community that get shut down because of these fraudulent activities that are not enforced.
Jeez.
Because our financial system is a little bit backwards in some ways. Still needs some. And so not to dwell too much on that. Another one one of my favorites, and it's you should keep your emotions separate from investing. So
definitely.
Another crypto that I like is Siacoin. And what it is, it's decentralized cloud storage. So you talk about centralized cloud storage, like Apple has cloud storage, Google has cloud storage, Amazon has cloud storage, right? So this basically kills all of that. What it is, it's decentralized cloud storage, meaning that not one entity owns that storage, but it makes it so that all the servers around the globe would be storing the information. And so it's like there's no downtimes. Surprisingly, there's downtimes even with Google and Amazon. Right?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
It's like, that's crazy, right? And so there would be zero downtime, and you'd have private information, just in an endless decentralized cloud, which is just one of the use cases for blockchain technology.
I can see why you're a big fan of that. That's a really unique use. So the utility, as you said.
Exactly.
That's neat. So yeah, you want to do your research on these cryptos before you just buy in and understand what their product and what their utility actually is and what it's for, than just buying something because it has a cool name like Lightning Coin or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like, we're going to create a cool hip one. There's another one. I don't know if you've heard about it. I'm curious before we get to the next question, but have you ever heard of Shipcoin?
You know what? I have.
It's like an offshore.
Yeah.
There's like a mentor of mine that I've been following. He does like this masterminding thing, and it's called Shipcoin. And from what I've seen and heard of him, his name's Brandon T. Adams. He's like a producer for Think and Grow Rich, and super young guy, has his own show, and all these amazing things. But he's involved in Shipcoin, so I wasn't sure if you'd heard of that and knew anything about it.
I heard about it, and I haven't had time recently to read up on that.
Yeah.
And that's Shipcoin, not to be confused with
SHIP.
SHIP, yeah, not to be confused with 90% of other coins out there, which are also referred to as SH.
Yeah, the other one.
Yeah, the other one.
We got that. That's hilarious. Okay, so let's see. Number 2, what is hurting the cryptocurrency market right now?
Straight just, there's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of scams out there. And what's funny is that the antithesis to that, there's scams out there for a technology that is built to mitigate scams. So it's like the purpose of blockchain, the purpose of cryptocurrency is honesty, to be real. And people are just, right now there's applications on the front end and the back end of this immutable technology to make sure that people, there's new emergence of companies with blurred factor authentication, etc., that are working so that you can, say, get a refund. So let's say, and this is what Ethereum does with smart contracts, you send a transaction, you would actually be able to get a refund on it.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things being worked on to improve this technology.
That's neat. So, and I know what Chris was saying about how people are just using it for the wrong reasons right now, and that once they actually start using it for the right reasons, like buying goods and services, and what was the other thing he said, designed to move wealth, taking your stock portfolio and moving it over to crypto, things like that, like it's going to bring a lot of stability to the crypto market, right?
Absolutely, and I got to tell you too, because right now it's somewhat of an investment model, and there's definitely speculation that Bitcoin and other cryptos have a lot of room to grow, to go up in value. So people don't want to spend them, and I understand that. They're sitting like Scrooge McDuck right now, just swimming in their virtual coins instead of spending them. And I don't blame them. At first, I was actually spending my Bitcoins on, because I actually loaded it to a Visa card. So there are certain cards that you can. I actually have like
BitPay?
BitPay. Yeah, exactly. Just like, and I use a BitPay card so that I can just make everyday transactions. And so, essentially, I even have some mining rigs in the garage that are just hooked up. They go straight to my BitPay card.
What?
Right?
That's
and so
insane.
I pay for my groceries, everything like that.
Wow. I want to talk more about that when we get back. We're going to go to commercial. When we get back, we're going to finish our conversation on crypto.
Yeah, they're loud though.
That's what I meant. I was like, great. I was like, okay. That was a nice little NLP little hanger. Like, I have mining rigs in my garage that I pay for my groceries for.
That's a good one.
Hey, water.
Yeah, of course.
School and education are two different things, and they do not
Am I
always
rambling
overlap.
on too much?
No,
You're working for
okay.
yourself, going to college.
We're going to wrap it up just after this next break, and then I'm going to close it out with talking about the new show, times, and all that stuff. So
You're investing in yourself.
pretty cool.
And that investment
Because
will
we'll have
increase
about
curiosity for the
7
world that
minutes
we
to
live
wrap it up.
in. My
Before the
curious
end of the
nature
show.
has been one of the most significant traits that got me to where I am today. I act like a sponge.
Still trying to
and I
wrap my
wanna
head
soak
around
up
crypto.
As much information as I can to keep those gold nuggets and get the info
Exactly the kind of
to
person
apply
that
to
needs
my
to take
life
the course.
and my business.
Take your guys' course,
So
your
here are
class.
3 tips that will help you educate
Bob.
yourself. Number 1.
Yeah, the show's
Google
recorded.
everything. Your problems, your dreams.
You can
your
find it on
goals. Don't ask
projectgrowradio.com.
questions before you Google it. You'll either find the answer.
You can go to
or you'll come
Spotify,
up with
whatever
a question.
whatever
Number 2,
podcasting app you
always be
use,
reading.
iTunes,
From audiobooks
Stitcher,
to written books, you must
TuneIn,
immerse yourself in
Castbox.
the knowledge
It's on
of the
on everything
creators and
basically.
thinkers before you. Find what interests you and stay consistent with it. And number 3, find a mentor. I've said this
Fun, huh?
before. They will give you the accountability and knowledge that only real experience can give you.
Do this every
Someone
month.
that has made the mistakes and has overcome them. You cannot do it alone. And you shouldn't want to. I'm Adrian Boycell with the Project Grow Radio Show. This has been your Business Minute. And as always,
Yeah.
keep looking up. Are you sick and tired of dealing with flaky graphic designers?
The more sponsors I get, the more I'm going to be investing in actually
We have
advertising.
a solution.
That's my goal, is putting it out there on other networks, and trying to advertise it on Facebook, and drive traffic, and
allowing you to get your
just
website or
I'm going to
graphic
be doing a lot more
design
public
project
speaking
done
events,
the same
putting out
way.
my book,
All
and
you
in
gotta do
like
is
less than
download
a
it
month,
for
I'm putting out a
on
book.
the Google Play Store.
So
There's live
it's gonna
support and a ton of
be
other resources to help you grow
They
your
do.
business.
Yeah.
Check it out.
And when you got it live on
Instagraphics.com
Facebook like
or
this.
download the Instagraphics app for free on the Google Play Store.
Do you need push-button heat with no
I
batteries,
love
no
this commercial.
microwave, and no cords? Introducing Hot Shots, a must-have heat source for any cold weather activity, aches and pains, and more. Hot Shots reusable
Yeah, I do
heat
them, and
packs
then I
come in
have
many
a gal that does
sizes
them, and then I
and
have this
provide
guy that does
hours
them.
of soothing heat.
So-
Yes, reusable with a lifetime warranty. Don't be left out in the cold. Call 916-214-6943 or visit reusableheat.com. Hot Shots, instant portable reusable heat, anytime, anywhere. That's reusableheat.com.
Handling payroll, workers' comp, and HR yourself is a big risk. If done incorrectly, it can cost you thousands of dollars and agonizing audits. You need a reliable company that looks out for you in all of these areas, and there's no better company than Linear Personnel.
She's my filler
Family-owned and
counter. She's my
operated,
filler
Jennifer
counter.
and
There we
staff
go.
Every time
provide
you say,
the highest
yeah.
quality service at a cost you
My mom doesn't like me.
Call
I had to
Personnel
teach
at
myself to just pause. When I'm about to say I just I
919-086.
pause. It's better to
Or
just
visit
pause
them
than do
online
the ums.
at
It's better to be like,
ppfsd.com.
use Obama
Hey, are you
gravitas
building
instead
real
of,
business?
yeah.
Yeah.
The more you know about the technology, the greater chance you have of making real money from Bitcoin. The local experts at Bitcoin
Yeah.
City teach you the do's and don'ts of cryptocurrency
Here it comes.
and give you a deep understanding on how the technology works. In just 2 sessions, you will get the knowledge you need. And as Ben
Yeah.
Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Enroll in the first ever crypto education class at btcoincity.com. That's btcoincity.com.
Funny 1055.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're back, and you're listening to the Project Grow Radio Show. Hey, if you've missed the rest of this show, you're just now tuning in, turning on your radio to Money 1055. This has been a great show. We've talked a lot about crypto. I had an amazing story in the beginning about Don at Walmart and just saying yes to the Lord. And I encourage you to go back to our website, projectgrowradio.com, and check it out. You can check it out on Spotify, TuneIn, iTunes, Stitcher, all the podcasting apps. Just type in Project Grow. It'll come right up. and make sure you follow and subscribe. And then if you're at home listening to the show, you can actually log on to your YouTube channel and find us on Project Grow. We're actually live streaming this, so you can watch the live streams here or on Facebook, either way. So I want to get back into and wrap up our interview, but I have one more question for Sean. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
Mm-hmm.
So the third question that I have is, how often do you use crypto in your daily life, and for what purposes?
For me, I use it every day. In fact, that's how I pay for all of my bills. In fact,
what?
I have all of my bills on a BitPay card, which you can spend crypto anywhere Visa is accepted. So anywhere Visa, MasterCard is accepted, you can spend cryptos. And so I literally have hardware mining rigs set up at Bitcoin, in my garage.
And at Bitcoin City?
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
And so those just feed right into the card, and essentially, you set up your automatic bills and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And so, yeah, that gives me time to talk to you today.
That's amazing. So as you're sitting here, you're making money
exactly
by mining.
Exactly.
I'm sure and that should be like, with what you guys have on the classes, should be like the high-level course that we talked about, of something that goes deeper into mining, and you guys even building rigs for people. These guys, they're just Bitcoin geniuses, man. Anything when it comes to Bitcoin, you should contact them, reach out to them. I could really, really encourage you to do that. As you see, he's using it every day, and he's paying his bills with it. More than I can say. I've definitely made a lot of good money off of it, but nowhere near enough to pay my bills. So I think that's powerful.
Yeah, and absolutely. It didn't really sink in until I was like, you know how you buy cheap food at the grocery store?
Yeah.
And you avoid Whole Foods the
yeah,
plague, you know what I mean? I was just like, wait a minute, I have internet coins, so I'm just going to buy this nice steak, I'm going to buy some good. So that's it's cool just for that alone, but there's several ways to make money with Bitcoin. And so hardware mining is one, cloud mining is one, day trading. There's so many different ways to make money with cryptos. It's just, and what's great about our educational course is that it will show you what's the best fit for you. Because some people don't want to day trade. Mm-hmm. Some people don't want to nerd out with the computer. Some people, there's so many different ways to make money with Bitcoin. There is a fit. You'll find a way that you can participate in the market in one way or the other. So
sweet. Well, I feel like I already know a lot about Bitcoin, but I know 100% now that I'm definitely going to take your guys' class. Mm-hmm. When's the first one?
Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah,
you hear that? This Saturday. So you guys have the opportunity. You're listening right now. Don't waste time. Don't procrastinate. Do it now. Mm-hmm. You can jump on to BT Coin City and register and get your seat in the class. It's going to fill up quick. They use a really good technology to Meetup that kind of handles the classes and everything. So you're going to meet these amazing guys, the team. If you're there in person, you'll get the opportunity to chat with them. They're going to be doing some live streaming stuff we talked about too, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And those people aren't going to get that same opportunity. So this is a great opportunity to network with these guys, to learn from them, and really benefit from that as a business. So where can they get a hold of you if something's up with the website, or if there's any issues, or they have any problems? Can they call you guys direct?
Exactly. They can call us direct. And actually, in fact, I think we're the only people that you can call if you have issues with cryptocurrencies.
Nice.
Right?
Cool.
And so that's exactly what the market's missing, and so we're super happy to help people out.
So what's that number?
That number, it is 916-794-1702. That's 794-1702. We actually got this nice place, which was really cool, in Roseville for our Saturday conference.
Sweet.
On Melody Lane, I believe. And all those details are actually on the site. So,
sweet. Mm-hmm. Right on. Well, thank you, Sean. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Have a live stream. Absolutely. We're going to have him back every month. He's a sponsor of ours, and I'm just really proud that he's on our team now and part of the Project Grow family, and him and his whole team. Like I said, I'm really blessed to have all of them. They're all amazing guys. They're all really, really smart. So one of the things I wanted to close the show out with, there's a couple things, is, as you know, we always do the book of the week and the quote of the week. The book of the week is a little bit different. I usually do business books, but I decided to kind of change up the pace and add a little more balance to my life. And so I'm going to be getting married in August, and I'm focusing on my future marriage and really making that a success and doing it right this time. And so I picked up a book. Actually, I got a book for Christmas, and I picked it up last night and just started reading through it, some of the different chapters and little blurbs. And that's usually what I like to do, just to make sure it's going to be a book I really enjoy. And I can't even begin to tell you how amazing this book is. I read one paragraph out loud to my lady, and then I read about 4 or 5. And the book is by Francis Chan and Lisa Chan. It's really cool. It's called You and Me Forever, Marriage in the Light of eternity. And so it's just an amazing book. Talks about how you should be perceiving your marriage and going after God first and letting that overflow into your marriage, and just Him being at the center of your life will create a stronger bond for both of you. If you're both are doing that and chasing after, no one's going to be able to get in the way. So a lot of marriage problems are, usually from finances and things like that, but the true core of what it is matters of the heart. And so this book really helps you identify that, and I'm just really excited to read it. So that's the book I'm going to finish. I haven't even started fully reading it yet. I just was skimming through it, like I said, but I will have it done this week. It's a really quick read. So the quote of the week is actually based off of the book of the week, and I want to read this. So, people accuse me of going overboard in preparing for my first 10 million years in eternity. In my opinion, people go overboard in worrying about their last 10 years on earth. And so it's just another perspective, I think, that is really powerful in this book of quit worrying about what happened a year ago or yesterday, and focus on what's gonna really impact your future of once you leave this earth. Because we could be here another 50 years, or we could be gone tomorrow. We don't know when our expiration date is. So that's something I wanted to leave you with, is check out that book, You and Me Forever, Marriage in the Light of Eternity. It's a really powerful one. Francis Chan, I've actually seen him speak in person, and he's amazing. So, and then my last closer, what I want to share with you guys, I've thrown out a few different radio show times, and I know it's been a little bit all over the place, but we actually finalized the deal. I want to give a shout out to my producer, Matt Ivy. He's amazing. He's been helping me for the last 18 weeks now. Ed Black and Kathy and everybody here has just been such an amazing support system, and they've done a lot for me here, and I'm really proud and glad to be on the team and be pushing forward with them. Our shows are now going to be, there's a huge person coming on to Money 105.5 that they're going to announce and be promoting, I'm sure. But our shows are going to be every Wednesday at 11 a.m. now. So not 4 p.m., but 11 a.m. And then they're going to replay our show for us every Saturday at 11 a.m. So our shows are Saturdays and Wednesdays at 11 a.m. It's nice, it's consistent, and it should stay the same. So it's just really great to be here with you guys. I really appreciate you listening. That's not going to take effect till the 14th, so the 21st will be our first show at 11 a.m., and we look forward to doing our new show at the new time. So stick with us. I thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys, or we'll talk to you guys and see you guys next week. This is the Project Grow Radio Show. I'm your host, Adrian Boycell, and as always, keep looking up.